Hi, I am Sivaya, lecturer in physics, working in Vignan institutions. In today's session, I am going to explain meter bridge in current electricity. Meter bridge in current electricity. This meter bridge works on the principle of the Wheatstone bridge, or this meter bridge is the practical application of the Wheatstone bridge. Already we studied the Wheatstone bridge in the previous session. The bridge consists of 4 resistors in the 4 arms, 1 galvanometer and 1 battery connected across the bridge. Different currents passing through the different branches are also shown in the figure. Here, if the current passing through the galvanometer Ig is equal to 0, we can say that the bridge is balanced. The bridge is balanced. Under the balancing conditions of the bridge, we derive the relation for the 4 resistors, which is named as the balancing condition of the Wheatstone bridge, and that balancing condition of the Wheatstone bridge is P by Q is equal to R by S, which gives the relationship between the 4 resistance values used in the network. If suppose we want to determine the unknown resistance value, what we have to do? Let us fix the unknown resistance in the AB arm, and let us place a standard resistance in the AD arm. By changing the resistance values Q and S, by the trial and error method, we have to adjust the Q value until the galvanometer shows 0 deflection. Then we can determine the unknown resistance value by using the formula P is equal to QR by S. But while balancing the bridge, we have to change the resistance values Q and S. Here, the resistor values are discrete values. By using the discrete values of the resistors, we can balance, but it is a time-taking process and the balancing condition may not be obtained easily. So, to easily getting the balancing of the bridge, we are going to modify this Wheatstone bridge network into the another form. That modified form of the Wheatstone bridge is called as the meter bridge. Now, today's session are construction and working of the meter bridge, followed by some problems. Now, we are going to study the construction of the meter bridge. Before the construction, what is the working principle and what are the uses of the meter bridge? The working principle of the meter bridge is Wheatstone bridge. That means meter bridge works on the principle of Wheatstone bridge. Already I said that meter bridge is the practical application of the Wheatstone bridge. It is used to determine the unknown resistance value and also used to determine the specific resistance of the material. These are the uses of the meter bridge. Now come to the construction of meter bridge. The meter bridge consists of a wooden plank. This is the wooden plank. 3 thick metallic strips are attached to the wooden plank. In the 3 strips, 2 strips are in the L shape and 1 strip is the straight strip, and they are marked as A, B, C. Here, these strips are generally made up of metals like copper. Copper strips, and these are having more thickness so that these strips are offering almost negligible resistance value for the flow of the current in the circuit. See, between these strips, two gaps are formed. The two gaps are named as left gap and right gap. Now, in between these 2 points A and B, a manganese wire of a uniform cross section is tightly stretched. What is the specialty of that wire? This wire is made up of, AB wire is made up of manganese. We know that alpha for the manganese is almost equal to 0. That's why the material manganese gives constant resistance value at all temperature values. That too, this wire is also having the uniform cross section. Now, unknown resistance is connected in the left gap. Unknown resistance may be in the form of a resistor or in the form of a wire. So, the unknown resistor or the wire for which we want to determine the resistance value is connected in the left gap. Whereas the known resistance, a standard resistor, is connected in the right gap. Generally, in the right gap, for the connection of the standard resistor, we use the resistance box. This is the resistance box which contains the pins. By removing the pins, we can place the desired resistance in the resistance box. So, this is the unknown resistance, this is the known standard resistance value. After that, between the two end points of the wire, we connect a battery in series. This is the battery, this is the plug key. What is the purpose of the plug key? By using this plug key, we can allow or we can stop the current passing through the network. So, this is just like on-off switch to allow or to stop the current passing through the battery and the circuit. Now, the point C, a galvanometer in series with a jockey are connected. Here, one end of the galvanometer is connected to the point C and the other end of the galvanometer is connected to jockey. J is the jockey. This galvanometer is used to detect the current passing through the circuit, whereas this jockey is the neutron. So this is the jockey what we are using in the laboratory. The jockey is just like a metallic rod covered with the insulating material to hold in the hand. It contains a screw at the top and a sharp knife edge at the bottom of the jockey. This is the jockey. Now, the second end of the galvanometer is connected to the jockey. This jockey is movable and we can touch it at any desired point on the meter bridge wire. Now, a meter scale is arranged beside the wire to measure the length of the wire. So, this is the construction of the meter bridge. So, see once again, the meter bridge consists of a wooden plank on which three thick metals made up of the copper are attached. In the three strips, two strips are in the L shape and one strip is the straight strip and two gaps are forming between the three strips. A manganese wire having a uniform cross section is tightly stretched between the 2 points A and B. Unknown resistor is connected in the left gap. A known standard resistor is connected in the right gap. A battery in series with a plug key are connected across the two ends of the wire A and B. A jockey in series with galvanometer are connected from the point C. The position of the jockey is movable and we can touch it at any point on the meter bridge wire. A scale is to the wooden plank beside the wire to determine the length of the wire. If suppose we complete the circuit connections, the situation will be like there in the laboratory. This is the meter bridge. So the length of the wire is exactly 1 meter. That's why this is called as the meter bridge. This is the battery. This is the plug key. This is the galvanometer. This is the resistance box. This is the jockey. So the elements are connected like this, and this is the practical appearance in the laboratory after making the connections. Now using this bridge, we are going to derive the balancing condition of the meter bridge to determine the unknown resistance values. For that, come to the working point. Initially, the key is open. No current is passing through the circuit. Now, let us fix a standard resistance value in the left gap. After that, let us connect the circuit by closing the key. So by placing the key, the circuit is completed and current is passing through the circuit. To check whether the circuit connections are right or wrong, we are going to perform one thing. Let us touch the jockey at end A and at end B of the wire. When we touch at two ends of the wire, the galvanometer must shows opposite deflections. Whenever the galvanometer shows opposite deflections during the touching of the jockey at the two ends, then only the circuit connections are okay. Otherwise, the circuit connections are not okay. We have to recheck the connections. After completing the connections, let us touch the jockey at different points of the potentiometer, at the different points of the meter bridge wire until the galvanometer shows zero deflection. Let us assume that galvanometer shows zero deflection when the jockey touches at point D. Here, by touching the jockey at different points on the wire, this point is obtained where the galvanometer shows zero deflection. This point D is called as balancing point. This is called as balancing point. That too, the current passing through the galvanometer is equal to 0. That's why this is also called as the null point. Now, the distance of this balancing point from the left end of the wire is called as the balancing length. So here, from point A to the point D, the distance is called as the balancing length, L. If this is L, what about the remaining portion? We know that the total length of the wire is equal to 1 meter or 100 centimeters. If the length of this portion is L, then the length of the remaining portion is equal to 100 minus L centimeters. Now, see, the jockey divides the given wire AB into two portions. One is the AD portion, other is the DB portion. This AD portion is acting as one resistor and DB portion is acting as another resistor. That's why when you see the diagram in detail, we can observe four resistor values. One is the unknown resistance R in the left gap, other one is the known standard resistance in the right gap, The third one is the resistance offered by this AD portion of the wire, and the fourth one is the resistance offered by the DB portion of the wire. Now, these four wires are forming 4 arms of the Wheatstone bridge. Now, let us see how that metal bridge can be modified into the Wheatstone bridge. For that, first of all, I am going to calculate the resistance of this AD part and the resistance of this DB part. For that, already we know that the resistance of the wire R is equal to rho L by A. For the wire, the area of the cross section A is uniform and the specific resistance of the material is constant, so that we can write it as the resistance of the wire R is proportional to L. If the length of the wire is more, the resistance of the wire is also more. If the length of the wire is less, the resistance of the wire is also less. Now, to write down the resistance values of that AD portion and DB portion, let us consider that rho is the resistance per 1 unit length. Resistance per 1 unit length. If rho is the resistance per 1 unit length, then what is the resistance per L length? That resistance is given by rho L. So the resistance of the AD portion is given by RAD is equal to rho L. Now, the resistance of this DB portion is given by rho into 100 minus L. Okay? For the length is L, for the DB portion the length is 100 minus L. That's why the resistance of the AD portion is equal to rho L and the resistance of the DB portion is rho into 100 minus L. Now, this one, this one, this one, this one are forming as the 4 arms of the Wheatstone bridge. See here there are A, B, C, D points in the metal bridge network. Let these points are marked as A, B, C, D. Look into this diagram. Between the points A, C, unknown resistance R is connected like this. Between the points C, B, standard known resistance S is connected like that. Whereas between the point AD, the resistance RAD of the wire is acting like this. Whereas this DB portion of the wire is offering RDB like this. That's why 1, 2, 3, 4 resistance are connected as the 4 arms of the Wheatstone bridge. And also between these AB ends, the battery is connected, and between this CD ends, the galvanometer of resistance G is connected. So that this metal bridge network is modified as Wheatstone bridge network. Now, we know that if the current passing through the galvanometer is equal to 0, the bridge is said to be balanced. And under that balancing conditions, we can write down the balancing condition as left resistance by right resistance in the upper arms is equal to left resistance by in the lower arms, so that we can write it as R by S is equal to RAD divided by RDB, which is the balancing condition of the Wheatstone bridge. Okay? Now, by using this, we can determine the unknown resistance. Suppose long wire is given to you, and for that wire, we want to determine the resistance value. Let us connect that wire in the position of unknown resistance R. Fix the S value. Let us move the position of the jockey until the galvanometer shows 0 deflection. It means observe the balancing point. Under that balancing conditions of the bridge, measure the balancing length L of the wire. Once if we know the balancing length L of the wire, by substituting that balancing length in this equation, see here, By substituting the balancing length in this equation, we can determine the unknown resistance R value by using the formula R is equal to S into L by 100 minus L. Here this R is equal to RAD by RDB. In the previous screen we studied RAD and RDB values. From that we have R by S is equal to rho L by rho into 100 minus L. This rho cancels and we have R by S is equal to L by 100 minus L, which is the balancing condition of the meter bridge. From this balancing condition, the unknown resistance value can be determined by the formula R is equal to S into L by 100 minus L. To get the value with more accuracy, we have the same experiment by choosing the different values for S. That means take S1, S2 and S3 values in the left gap, in the right gap, and each time determine the balancing length and calculate the unknown resistance R value. If you take the average of the three, you will get the unknown resistance value with more accuracy. That too, we can also prove that the accuracy in the measurement of resistance is more whenever the balancing point is obtained at the middle of the wire. That means if the balancing length of the meter bridge is nearer to 50 centimeters, then the calculations of unknown resistance has more accuracy. It needs that the standard resistance value must be equal to the unknown resistance value. Then only we get the balancing point nearer to 50 centimeters, then the calculations will become more accurate. While doing this experiment, we have to take some precautions. The first precaution is the connections must be tight. The connections must be tight while connecting the unknown resistance box, battery, galvanometer, etc. in the circuit. The second precaution is should not drag the jockey on the meter bridge wire. If we drag the jockey on the meter bridge wire, the area of the cross section may be changed, which leads to the errors in the calculations. That's why when you are observing the balancing point, always touch the jockey at different points, but should not drag the jockey on the meter bridge wire. Now, I am concluding the things what we studied till now. First one is what is the balancing condition of the Wheatstone bridge and what is the difficulty in getting the balance of the bridge. After that, we studied the working principle and uses of the meter bridge. Then we studied the construction and working of the meter bridge. Finally, we derived the equation for the balancing condition of the meter bridge, that is R by S is equal to L by 100 minus L. This can also be easily remembered. What is this R by S? Ratio of the resistances in the left gap to the right gap. That is equal to what is L by 100 minus L? That is the ratio of the lengths measured from the left end and right end up to the balancing point. So, left resistance by right resistance is equal to balancing length from the left end divided by balancing length from the right end. That is the balancing condition of the meter bridge. Using that, we determine the resistance value. If once we know the resistance value of the wire, then we can determine the specific resistance of the material. Suppose we want to determine the specific So come to the first problem which was given in the 2019 JEE mains. In the meter bridge experiment, the circuit diagram and the corresponding observation table are shown in the figure. So a table is given, a circuit diagram is given. Which of these readings is incorrect? This is the question. So from the circuit, they have done 4 readings, and in that 4 readings, which one is incorrect? That is the question. So we are going to solve this problem by using the balancing condition of the meter bridge. What is the balancing condition of the meter bridge? The ratio of the resistances in the left gap to the right gap is equal to the ratio of the balancing lengths from the left end to the right end, that is R by X is equal to L by 100 minus L. From this we can write X is equal to R into 100 minus L divided by L. So 4 lengths are given, 4 corresponding resistance values are given. Find out X value in the 4 cases. We have, in the first case, X1 is equal to, what is our 1000, and what is L? L is 60, so that 100 minus L is equal to 40 divided by 60. If you simplify this one, you will get it as 667 ohms. Similarly, if you determine X2 value for the second set of the readings, it becomes 100 into the length is 13 centimeters, so that the balancing length is equal to 87. 100 minus 13 is equal to 87 divided by 13. So using the mathematical calculations, if you simplify this, you will get it as 669 ohms. Similarly, if you determine X3 value by substituting the numericals, you will get it as 656 ohms. And if you determine the resistance value in the 4th case, it is found to be 99 ohms. For the given set of 4 readings, we calculate the unknown resistance value 4 times. The values are obtained as 667, 669, 656 and 99 ohms. If you see the readings, these 3 readings are very close to one another, whereas this one is somewhat inconsistent, so that the 4th one is the incorrect reading in the given tabular form. Okay, so this is the question based on the balancing condition of the meter bridge. Right? Now see another problem. When 2 unknown resistors S and R are connected in the meter bridge, the null point is observed at 40 centimeters. If a 2 ohm resistor is connected in parallel to S, the null point shifts to 25 centimeters. Find the values of S and R. Here, S is connected in the left gap, R is connected in the right gap. Both are unknowns. To determine the 2 unknown values, 2 cases are given to us in the problem. Now, first come to the case 1. In the case 1, what is given? 2 unknown resistors S and R connected in the gaps, and the balancing length is found to be 40 centimeters. By applying the balancing condition of the meter bridge for the first case, what we can write? Ratio of the resistors in the left gap to the right gap, S by R, is equal to ratio of the balancing lengths from the left end to the right end, that is 40 by 60. this is equal to 2 by 3. From this we can write R is equal to 3s by 2. Let it be equation number 1. Now see the second case. In the case 2, what is given? If a 2 ohm resistor is connected in parallel to S. In the case 1, there is only one resistor S in the left gap, whereas in addition to the S, a 2 ohm resistor is connected in parallel to the S. That means now the resistors in the left gap becomes S and 2 ohms are in parallel to one another, whereas there is no change in the resistor in the right gap, that is R. Now, for the new combination of the resistors in the left gap and right gap, it is given that the null point shifts to 25 centimeters. Now, if we apply the balancing condition of the meter bridge, what is the resistance in the left gap? Equivalent resistance of 2 and S, which is given by 2S divided by 2 plus S divided by the resistance in the right is R, is equal to the balancing length from the left hand to the length in the right hand. Here it is given that 25, so that the remaining is equal to 75. This is equal to 25 by 75. This is equal to 1 by 3. And take this R to the side, it gives 2S by 2 plus S is equal to R by 3. This is equation number 2. So there are two equations and there are two unknowns. Solve the two equations, you will get the two unknown values of the resistors in the problem. Now by substituting R is equal to 3S by 2 in this equation, we have 2S by 2 plus S is equal to 3S by 2 into 1 by 3. Here SS cancels, 3 cancels, this is 1 by 2. From this we can write 4 is equal to 2 plus S. From this we can write S is equal to 2 ohms. If we get S value, we can find out R value from equation number 1. So by substituting S value in equation number 1, we have R is equal to 3 ohms. Okay, so here two cases are given. We apply the balancing condition 2 times. So by simplifying the obtained equations, we have the two unknown resistor values. See, similar to this, the problems may also be given in the other ways. Instead of connecting a resistor in the left gap parallel to the first one, this resistance may be connected in series. Then the effective resistance will be changed. Instead of joining the resistor in the left gap, the resistor may be joined either in the series or in the parallel in the right gap. Then also the effective resistance value is changed. That's why for the first case, what is the relation between R and S? You have to identify one equation. After that, after connecting the resistor either in the series or in the parallel combination across the resistor in the left gap or right gap, we have to identify the equivalent resistor in that gap. After that, again by applying the balancing condition, we can write the second equation. So by solving the two equations, we get the two unknown values. This is important model for the objective exams. Now come to the last one. This is during an experiment with a meter bridge, the galvanometer shows a null point when the jack is pressed at 40 centimeters. Using a standard resistance of 90 ohms as shown in the figure. The of the scale used in the meter bridge is 1 millimeter. The unknown resistance is dash. So it was also given in the JEE Advanced in the year 2014. Now in the options, the resistance value is given with errors. Here I am not giving the options. In the original question, the options are given with the errors in the measurement of the resistance. Now see here, the unknown resistance in the left gap is R, whereas the standard resistance value in the right gap is 90 ohms. Whereas the balancing point is obtained at a distance of 40 centimeter from the left end, so that the balancing length L is equal to 40 centimeters. Now we know the S value, we know the L value, we want to determine R value. For that I am going to use the balancing condition of the meter bridge. That is, R by S is equal to L by 100 minus L. This is R is equal to SL divided by 100 minus L, that is equal to 90 into 40 divided by 60. 90. This is equal to how much? This is equal to 60 ohms. If you are preparing for the board exams, either for the state level or for the central level, the calculation of unknown resistance is enough. But if you go to the object examinations like MCET in the state level or JEE and NEET exams in the national level, so we have to calculate the error in the measurement of the resistance also. Here my question is, why we are getting the errors in the measurement of the resistances using the meter bridge? Here already we know that we are using a scale in the meter bridge which is calibrated in the millimeters like this. Suppose this is 10, this is 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.4, 10.5, 10.6, 10.7, 10.8, 10.9, 11 like this. Let it be the gradations marked on the scale. If suppose we obtain the balancing condition when the jack is pressed here, what reading we have to take? This is 10, 10.1, 10.2. It is a little bit more than 10.2 and a little bit less than 10.3. So what value we have to note down while taking the readings? Generally while taking readings we have to note down as 10.2 as the balancing length. But still there is extra value in the balancing length. This omission of this extra value leads to some errors in the measurements of the lengths and also leads to the errors in the measurement of the resistance values. Why? Because the resistance values are related to the balancing lengths of the meter bridge. Now how to measure, how to determine the error in the measurement of the resistance? For that we have to do some mathematics, what we have done in the errors and measurements. For that we have R by S is equal to L by 100 minus L. By taking S to the right side, we have R is equal to SL divided by 100 minus L. By taking log on both sides, we can write it as log R is equal to log S plus log L minus log 100 minus L. By differentiating the equation, we have delta R by R is equal to, here S is the standard resistance value whose value is constant. If S is constant, log S is constant. If we take a differentiation for a constant, the result is 0, so that 0 plus delta L by L minus delta 100 minus L by L. Now, this is the relative error in the resistance, this is the relative error in the length, and this is the relative error in the measurement of 100 minus L. Here, if we want to calculate the maximum possible relative error in the measurement, add up all the errors so that delta R plus delta 100 minus L by L. So here, to get the maximum possible error, we get the maximum possible error by adding errors, so that we have delta R by R is equal to delta L by L plus delta 100 minus L divided by 100 minus L. Now, what is this delta L? Delta L is the maximum error that can be occurred in the measurement of the length, which is nothing but the least count of the scale, that is equal to 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. The least count of the scale is equal to 1 millimeter, that is equal to 0.1 centimeter, divided by what is length? The balance length is given as 40 centimeters, so that 0.1 divided by 40 plus what is the error in the measurement of 100 minus, so 100 minus the error in the measurement of the L and the error in the measurement same, so that this is also equal to the least count of the scale divided by this 100 minus L is equal to 60. Now, here by taking that R to that side, we have delta R is equal to R into 0.1 by 40 plus 0.1 by 60. Here already we measured the resistance value. That resistance value is obtained as 60 ohms. That's why this is equal to 60 of 0.1 by 40 plus 0.1 by 60. Okay. So by taking 60 into the bracket, by making the mathematical calculations, we will get it as delta R is equal to 0.25 ohms. So the resistance value is obtained as 60 ohms. The error is obtained as 0.25 ohms. So that at last the resistance value of the unknown resistor is given by 60 plus or minus 0.25 ohms. Actually, the error is calculated here. If suppose in the options the error is given in terms of the percentages, determine delta R by R into 100 value, and it has to be indicating, it has to be noted in the answer itself. So the options are given in terms of the error. Just I calculated the error value. If the options contains percentage errors, you have to percentage errors, and then you have to represent the resistance of the resistor using the errors also. Okay. So in this session, so we studied the construction, working of the meter bridge, and we obtain the balancing condition for the meter bridge, and using that balancing condition we obtain the formulas for the balancing condition in terms of the balancing lengths. After that we obtain the formula for the determination of the specific resistance of the material, followed by some problems. I think you are understanding this session and you are able to solve the problems based on the meter bridge. Thank you one and all.